What's up, guys? This is Darth Revan, and today I have a recap for you from our random war against OneHive Prime. Uh, so we came away with a 7-star victory, and that was really nice. Everyone did well on our part, like our 11s, 10s, 9s. Everyone really stepped up their game, and we came to play. So let's get into the actual war. So let's look at what they did to our bases first. So they had a couple troubles with our 11s, like 1 stars and no stars, but honestly, that has been an issue across the community as people are still adjusting to not being able to use miners as much because of the, I guess you could call it a nerf to the miners, where they just aren't as functional as they used to be. And going down to our 10s, they had a couple nice 11v10 dips on MKS and Connor. And then on our 9s, they left a couple bases up. But overall, it was a good effort by them. They definitely made it interesting. Uh, and going over to their side, we had we cleared most of their 11s, and by that I mean like 2-starred, except for 3 we had chat. It was an unfortunate attack. Like it was close, uh, close but no cigar. And going down to their 10s, we had 2 town hall 10v10 trips. One of them, which was pretty early on in the war, and I'll get to that later. And we also had a really nice 11v10 dip. And another one was a 99% heartbreak. But overall, we did really well up top. And going down to the 9s, we cleared all the 9s, and I think we used like maybe 1 or 2 dips to free up scouts. But overall, it was a really fun war. Everyone enjoyed themselves, and thank you to OneHive Prime for an interesting war. Now let's get straight into the actual recap and the juicy stuff. Now I usually wouldn't show like dips, but because of the new meta and how you can't really spam per se, like mass miners a 10, on a 10. Let's go into what Reaper had to offer. So this was a really nice Gola loon, 11v10 Gola loon, and he comes in with 1 golem and a couple bowlers just to set up the funnel, and he uses minions up top too. As those are working, he sets up the jump, heroes, CC bowlers, and I think a couple of his own, just to clear this compartment out. Get the Inferno, I think he gets 2 air defenses out of this deal. And the CC Hound doesn't really affect them much. So I think he brings a Skelly to distract heroes. I don't know, just some shenanigans. Hound pops, but that's no issue because Queen will take care of that with her ability. And he's sending in his flight portion. Drops in some hastes. At this point, I think so. He brings a freeze here, and he uses his Grand Warden ability early. Like maybe you could have waited, saved the freeze, or like left the freeze at home and just use the Grand Warden ability for that Inferno. But honestly, you can't really critique a 3 too much, 3-star too much. So still a great job by him. And this base is basically wrecked. He has so many loons up. His final hound just popped, so extra cleanup. That's always good. Now let's put this on fast forward, and yeah, so as you can see, it was a really almost an effortless 3-star by him, and so good job. Reaper. Alright, now let's go down to Hercules. Okay, I wouldn't show like a non 3-star as well, but this one was a really good attack. Really well thought out. So I actually hit this base first with a similar plan, and like even though I scouted for myself, my queen went like she did some wonky business, and then like she was walking all over the place, and she eventually got into this compartment, but she took like the long way around. So that was unfortunate. And so we already knew that there was going to be like 2 air mines there from the scout, and so he charges into that section with 5 healers. So his queen will definitely not die. Troll Tesla around 9 o'clock. An interesting thing is that the balloon doesn't kill the Tesla anymore. I don't know if it was just like misplaced or something, but that was a thing that happened like twice so far from what I've seen. And so he takes out the CC, drops in his golem, and he wants to make like a big push with like around 10 bowlers into this section, into that bottom Inferno Tower. So healers eat a mine, no biggie. Wallbreaker's in. Then I think he double jumps. So yeah, he has a jump for the queen and jump for his kill squad. Like in my previous attack, I had the troops share a jump, but like the queen would walk down and miss this Inferno Tower, so that was unfortunate. And in like this one, like that double giant bomb really like hurt him, because like it basically knocked the queen down to almost nothing, and then once the Inferno locked on again and that expo was on her, there was no way. So that rage was, it could have been better placed, but there's not much you can do in like the middle of the raid. Like you're concentrating on too many things. So let's try to fast forward this up a bit as his troops try to make it through, and they almost get there. As you can see, the mortar is doing a lot more damage than it used to do because of the update. Yeah, but he just runs out of time here. It's really sad. Just the Inferno is left standing. If the bowlers had like gotten off a couple more shots, like bounces, if like more of them had gone his way, then this would have definitely been a triple. So it was a heartbreak. But overall, a great attack. Now let's go down to Hell on Heels. This was the base that I hit actually. I used another account, and this is a queen charged Lalo. So Air seems to be making, I guess, kind of a comeback, even though it never really went away in the first place, because like everyone prior to the update was just like spamming miners and bowlers, and it was like Lalos take a lot more planning per se, more so than like go boners or attacks like that. So I charge in here and basically try to get the air defense, the queen, the CC as well, and then I drop my king down here to kind of take out this stuff and meet up with the queen into this compartment, which I wallbreaker here. Drop a poison for CC. It's like goblins and a baby dragon, and honestly, I didn't even really need the rage there because of the double poison, but at that point in the raid, I wasn't paying too much attention to like the specifics rather than trying to not mess up. So queen, like the king sacrifices himself for the queen, keeps her up to full without having to ever meet that king. No, the flight portion was already started, like 2 hounds, freeze for the Inferno, haste, then heal to heal up that Tesla area, then haste again. I have like 2 loons in the back, and I had a hog here, which was supposed to be for the lure, but I ended up not using it because the queen lured the clan castle by herself. So that was just could have been an extra loon or something like that, maybe more minions, but. So at this point, like the base is wrecked. There's literally nothing that can stop this pack of loons. Even that wizard tower, there's no way. Like the loons eat a bomb here, but it honestly doesn't matter. So let's fast forward this a little bit. So that's done. And now let's go on down to number 9. Um, Maddie hit on Connor. I think that's his Town Hall 10. And he had a really nice hit. Like we were planning this hit from like the very beginning of the war. Um, like we had our 9s in as well, so we scouted for ourselves, and I feel like that's like if you have that opportunity to scout for yourself and hit as a Tunnel 10, I would definitely recommend it because like you get a better feel of like what went wrong rather than having to rely on someone else. Um, so he wall breakers in here, and no, so this is a queen charge Lala. Forgot to say that. So that baby dragon actually does a lot of work, and I think in his scout, like the baby dragon almost took out that inferno by itself, but he has like a wall breaker, like I guess like mini fail because it doesn't break that section that he wanted to, so he had to send in even more. Um, he brought like 10 in total, I think, so he had to like waste 9 or not 9, but like 5 or 6 there rather than save a couple for this king part, so he has 1 left. It's not too big of a deal since he weakens the wall and then the king can just go through with the ability. But usually in those situations you want to either make sure that like the army camp here is like funneled off, or just bring more wall breakers. It's not much you can do in the middle of the raid whenever you're like everything's going on, so you have to just adjust on the fly. And so his king takes out that air defense and walks around, and queen's gonna do work in the core, and he sends in his flight portion. Minions on the back to start up that cleanup early. That's always good. And sends in his last lava hound with a couple loons back end to clean up that part. 1 hound pops, and it's a level 1 inferno, so like I guess the freeze was needed because of this high damage area here with like 4 Teslas and a wizard tower, but with the level 1 inferno on a Lala, you usually don't need to bring that freeze. Like probably bring like a heal or something else. I know JFK was always preaching. JFK from PD, he was always preaching bring heals and haste with your Lalos. Good words to live by. Haste and heal Lalos. So now that's done with the Town Hall 10 portion. And the thing about that raid especially was that, let's actually see, I think it was 2 hours in. Can't. Oof. Yeah, Connor. 22 hours and 22 minutes left. So it was like under 2 hours, less than 2 hours have passed in the war, and we come out with a really nice Talent 10 triple, and that really set the stage for the rest of our attacks. Really boosted everyone's morale because we've been hearing about like the dreaded Town Hall 10 situation, and coming out with a triple in that sector really helped us. So let's go down to Thunderstrike. His attack on number 11. And this was a really nice queen charge Valo. So he's gonna break into this section and just grab two air defenses, and from like the south he's gonna bring in his Valk kill squad. So he makes a really makes a really nice use of his minions here, just clearing the storages which are out of range of any air targeting defenses. Meanwhile, on the other side of the base, Queen's putting in work. There's so much that she can like carve out. It's taking out the CC. And at this point, he really, I think if he had moved his poisons over just a tad, he wouldn't have had to burn the ability. But that's just nitpicking. Pretty good 3-star. So drops in some Valks to tank, then more Valks, wall breakers. His queen almost died there. He clutched that rage, kept her alive. So jump, heal for the Valks. They're shredding through those Teslas and Wizard Towers. From the bottom, he sends in his loons. He was a bit early on these loons over here, as you can see. They died from that air defense being like just like targeting them. But this base is basically wrecked. There is nothing that can prevent him from 3-starring at this point. Like, he has too many Valks up, too many loons up, Queen at full health still. There is just no way. Even as the Expo starts to lock on to the loons, it's just too little too late. He has so many troops up still. So great job to Thunder. Now let's go down to Shockwave. My boy Shockwave. Let's look at his attack. He had a double zap quick Lalo. And he is like a master at this. Like almost every war he 6-packs like constantly with this comp. Either like a single zap quick or a double zap quick. He is truly a master of the air. So he exploits like a weakness in the space. First of all, he takes out the Queen Pop's ability, and what he does is he drops a single Quake to like hit both of those top air defenses. So essentially, what that does is it saved a poison so that he can poison the Queen. So he sends in loons in the counterclockwise motion. It's really slow and meticulous. It's not one of those spam attacks where you can just like drop 50 of a troop and then expect to triple. You have to like really know your pathing and what your troops will do. So he brought in a whole ton of pounds, and his loons are slowly but surely collapsing on the rest of the defenses. Once those hounds get up in front, they will be completely protected. Just that Wizard Tower. If he had like saved one loon for that back end, I think he could have saved like almost all those loons. Because as you'll see, like they start to drop pretty quickly. So he's left with one loon left, and he has just like he has 2 unpopped towns, I think. So let's fast forward through all this. So that was a great attack by him. Now let's go down to number 23, which was hit by Tim on his account. Skill is rare. And I don't know, something about him. He must have some rare skills. He needs to share that with the rest of the clan. Make us even more good. So he drops 2 poisons straight off the bat. Tries to slow the damage onto that golem. Because as you can see, it's getting shredded. Already pops. Pops his king ability. Gets the queen down. As the queen is slowly working her way around the base. This is a mass hog, and this is like one of your typical spam attacks where you like drop like 50 of one troop onto the base, and it just triples because that's how broken that troop is. Like before, like it was bowlers, then it was miners, and now at Talent 9 at least, it's hogs. Talent 10, like you see a lot more hogs, but you don't see like this many, like 36 plus hogs just going at it into the base. And he ends up with like a swag heal too. Like before, if your hogs caught like one of those giant bombs there, you were almost done for. Like there's no way that they would like it would be on like super low health. But because after the update they removed that 1.5 damage onto the hogs, they can tank it up like a boss. So let's fast forward the rest of this. It's basically his huge pack of hogs just running through the rest of the base. They melt the king and then they go up and grab that. And that's a wrap. Okay, so let's go down to 24, Sofa. Where is he? He's here. All right, and so this is an attack that one of our clanmates, co-leader here, like devised. I'm not sure about the official name, but we call it the Grundinator, named after him. And basically, it's one of those 6 or 7 healer attacks where you have a P.E.K.K.A, Valks, and then CC bowlers, I think, and just basically mow through the base because you have all the highest DPS troops in the game just going at it. And especially because Teslas they don't have that damage bonus when against P.E.K.K.A s. P.E.K.K.A s almost have like literally no threat posed towards them because they're pretty tanky and they can also deal a ton of damage. As you can see, like that P.E.K.K.A was being beaten on by that queen and that king, and it still survived with the help of the healers. And like P.E.K.K.A's under rage, or even not under rage, they just chew through walls. And the healers are the main key to this attack because they keep everything up. If there were no healers and you had like golems instead, then this attack would fizzle out pretty quickly. So I think you need to identify a base with like a bit widespread air defense placement so that your healers won't be under constant threat or under constant fire. Because as you see here, if this had happened early on in the raid, it would have been doubtful if you would have had the push in order to make the 3-star happen. So he has a heal in the bag, and I think he'll drop it soon. And he does. He has an extra poison as well, but there's nothing to really drop that on. So his cleanup is almost done, so it's pretty much a wrap. Swags out that poison. Nice. Good job, Sofa. And the last attack is by Daniel. And this is another one of those, just like you have what, 25 hogs and just run through the base with 4 heals. You don't even need like a rage or jump for your kill squad. You just need to make sure that you take out the heroes and you take out the CC. And then after that, it's pretty much GG if you know what you're doing. As you can see, he starts his hog deployment almost like out of 25, he drops like he has a 9 left over. 9 is still in the bag. So it's a pretty huge pack of hogs. Drops in his CC hogs to supplement his own. Drops his second to last rage or heal there. And even that Tesla farm, which would have been pretty huge pre-update, they don't really affect hogs. And he even swags out a heal soon. This attack is... this base is just dead. There's nothing you can do. Gets all the corner huts and let's fast forward cleanup. Good job to Daniel. And let's look at the war details and see who got a 6-pack. Let's look at the 9s from the bottom. So Zed, shout out to Zed for a 6-pack. I had to scout myself, so almost. And then shout out to Thunder with the 6-pack. Daniel had a 6-pack. Shockwave with his 6-pack. And I think that's about it. There are a couple of dips up top, so like MKS but overall, pretty solid effort. It was really fun war, and well, I will see you guys next time. Darth Revan out.